want you to tell me, first of all, in chapter 37, verse 12, who is it that's surprised? Is it Muhammad that's surprised? Or is it Allah who's surprised? Chapter 37, verse 12. Go ahead, I want you to answer that.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. طيب يا Farid, can I ask you a question before I leave, inshallah? If Brother Cowboy, Barakallah, Jazakallah khair. Can you please explain? I just asked him in the live chat box. Can you please explain the difference between بل عجبت ويسخرون وبل عجبت ويسخرون? عجبت and عجبت. What does it mean in both cases, please? Jazakallah khair.
Allah barak fiik. So there's a difference of opinion among classical ulama in regards to the meaning of bal ajibtu. As for like initially, like who's reading what, Hamza wal Kisa'i, if I recall correctly, both read Ajebto, and this is the qira'ah that's recited by Ibrahim al-Nakha'i. It's recited by Ibn Mas'ud, so like it does have a basis. As for Bal Ajebta, that's the recitation of most of the reciters from different regions. Bal Ajebta is referring to the Prophet, peace be upon him. Like the Prophet, peace be upon him. Ajab is attributed to him in regards to the actions and the mockery of the kuffar. As for Bal Ajebtu, again, there's a difference of opinion. A lot of classical scholars will say that Bal Ajebtu is referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And however, the term ajab does not mean being surprised, being amazed by something that you're not aware of. If you actually refer to classical dictionaries, you'll find the term ajab referring to like an istinkar, to matters that are like not necessarily too common, or like a major form of istinkar. When you see something that you despise, you look down upon, that is referred to as ajab towards that thing. So it doesn't. So the theological argument is, how can Allah be surprised? It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is surprised in regards to anything. So that's one interpretation. The other interpretation is Bal Ajebtu is also referring to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because like the Quran was revealed onto his tongue, and so he is saying Bal Ajebtu. That's the other interpretation that's provided. I hope that's
yeah, inshallah. So can you please explain the meaning of Ajebto, Allah surprise? You know, that's one of the claims they come always with, saying, how come Allah, can Allah be surprised?
Yeah, I just explained it, Akhi. Al-Ajab, like if you return to classical dictionaries, the term Ajab doesn't mean
I don't know,
surprise.
Are you chatting or it's me? Yeah.
Was there an issue, Brandon, with my stream? No, it's fine. Akhi, return to. Let me see if Al-Azhari, for example, Abu Mansur Al-Azhari, if I recall, he explains it in the way that I've mentioned. Like al-ajab isn't something that you're being surprised about. It's shiddat al-istinkar. It's to like despise something, that you look down upon something that you see. It's not necessarily about being surprised by something. You get me?
يا أخي, I know that العجب in Arabic معناها الدهشة من فعل شيء غير متوقع وغير معلوم.
مو شرط يكون غير متوقع وغير معلوم. مو شرط.
Now actually when I've read about it, they said that the difference between the ajab of Allah and the ajab of human being, the ajab of the human being, that they see something that they did not expect, which they didn't know about. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all knowing. He knows everything. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He's surprised, it doesn't mean that Allah did not know like a human being. Therefore, Allah is all knowing. He knew about it in advance. Like when you're saying human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Sami'un Basir. Human being also are Sami'un Basir. So when you say that Allah Sami', that doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ears like a human being and He hear like us. Allah Basir. So when you say that Allah all-seeing, it doesn't mean that Allah has eyes like us, so therefore He see like human being. ليس كمثله شيء. So therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has صفة التعجب, which is not equal to صفة التعجب for human being. صفة التعجب that fit His majesty, the majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which you cannot compare with صفة التعجب of his creation. That's what I've read about actually. Barakallah fi. So what do you think of that?
That doesn't conflict with what I was saying, Akhi.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, mashallah. I agree. But what I said, is it correct or wrong? The difference between ta'ajjub of the creation and ta'ajjub of the creation.
Of course. But even the term, even al-ajab, doesn't necessitate not being aware of something.
Even for humans is what he's saying. Even for humans, yeah.
Come again, I'm sorry, I was frozen for a while. Al-ajab for humans.
Yeah, even a ta'ajjub for humans doesn't necessarily mean it's something that they're not aware of. It can apply to things that they are aware of.
Okay, جزاك الله خير.
وياك bro.
جزاك الله خير بدر
No problem.
Now, of course, I'm an Islamophobe. I can't read the language. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I phoned in a friend who is a native Arabic speaker, and I wanted to get his thoughts on the matter.
37:12. This is the Hafs version, right? Mm-hmm. And Avery, what does it say? Ajebta. Bel Ajebta wa yaskharun. If we go to the other versions, to the other qira'at, like Khalaf an Hamza, on top, the Khalaf version for short, it says, but I, Bel Ajebtu, is Allah talking to Muhammad, or is Allah talking about himself? And how can Allah be shocked, Brother Avery?
Oh, that's a great question. He's supposed to be all-knowing, isn't he?
Yeah. And it's not only the Khalaf version, many versions. Actually, I counted them all that I had found. Exactly 6 of different variations that contradict the Hafs. 6 of them. Here is the Khalaf. Let us go to another one. Abu al-Harith an al-Kisai. Abu al-Harith an al-Kisai. From al-Kisai. That's the full reading, name of the full reading. It says again, but I, Allah, wonder while they mock. Ajebto versus the Hafs. Ajebta. Ajebto, Ajebta.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The question being answered by our beloved brother Farid. Jazakallah khair, Farid. Actually, I pushed hard on brother Farid. I squeezed hard on him so I could get information from him as much as I can. So it will be beneficial for everybody. Barakallah fik, akhi Farid. Jazakallah khair for being so patient with me. Now, the purpose of this portion of the video is to educate this whom so-called Arab Christian, some Arabic. He claimed to be an expert in Arabic and he cannot read simple Arabic. The way he read the verse, he said, بَلْ عَجِبْتَ or بَلْ عَجِبْتُ وَيَسْخَرُونَ. He said, يَسْخَرُونَ. He didn't say يَسْخَرُونَ. The word in front of you is يَسْخَرُونَ, letter Sin. It's not يَسْخَرُونَ, letter Sad. You cannot recognize between Sin and Sad. Look in front of you, you can see, he said Khalaf version. See how deceptive he is. And he said also Hafs version and Khalaf version. We as Muslims, we don't have something called as Hafs version or Khalaf version. We have riwayat an Hafs or riwayat Warsh or riwayat Khalaf, which means narrated or narration. Narrated by Hafs or by Warsh or by Khalaf. There is nothing called as version. But you added the term version so it will suit your needs as a Christian missionary. So you cannot be honest, you have to be deceptive just to fit your needs as a Christian. You see in front of you مصحف القراءات العشر المتواترة من طريق الشاطبية والدرة, which means the مصحف of the 10 different recitation of the Holy Quran by طريق الشاطبية والدرة. We as Muslims, we believe that the Holy Quran being revealed to Prophet Muhammad على الأحرف السبعة والقراءات العشر, which means the Quran being revealed to Prophet Muhammad with 7 different modes at 10 different recitations. And we believe that all of them are the divine words of Allah and all being revealed to Prophet Muhammad, and Prophet Muhammad recited the Holy Quran in all those 10 different recitations or qira'at. And those 10, including their students, are 30. and we believe that they are all divine words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those 30 are the 10 including their students. Nafi', his students are Qalun wa Warsh. Ibn Kathir, his student Al-Bazzi wa Qambal. Abu Umar al-Basri, his student Ad-Dawri wa Susi. Ibn Amr al-Shami, his student Hisham wa bin Dhakwan. Asim al-Kufi, his student Sha'ba wa Hafs. Hamza al-Kufi, his student Khalaf wa Khalad. Al-Kisai al-Kufi, his student Abu al-Harith wa Duri. Abu Ja'far al-Madani, his student Ibn Wardan wa Ibn Jammar. Yaqub al-Basri, his student Ruwais wa Ruh. Khalaf al-Kufi, his students are Ishaq wa Idris. So those are the 10 different recitations, narrations of the Holy Quran, including their students, and we accept all of them as divine words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he quote, what he quote a while ago actually, Surah As-Saffat, verse 12, this is what he quotes. It is Ajebto and Ajebta. Ajebto recited by Hamza, Al-Kisai and Khalaf. The rest of them recited as Ajebta. I will use your logic with you. According to the Bible, your Lord can hear and can see. Does that mean that he can hear because he has ears like a human being, and he can see because he has eyes like a human being, or he can hear and see the way fit him and his nature as your Lord? You as a Christian, you worship Jesus Christ and you believe that Jesus is your Lord. And according to the Bible, Jesus was surprised. Your Lord was surprised. The same word that was mentioned in the Holy Quran. In the Arabic version of the Bible, it says تعجب, تعجبوا or تعجبوا. You read this in Matthew chapter 8 verse 10, and in Mark chapter 6 verse 6, and in Luke chapter 7 verse 9. Now can you answer me, how could your Lord whom you worship, Jesus Christ, as God, be surprised? Can you imagine your God being surprised? So I'm giving you back the same question. So I hope that you can answer. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته, and peace be with everyone.